And when Harry first talked to me about doing this, I had no title. Actually, Harry, you were like, let's name it Beyond Suffering. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I am suffering in so much pain right now. I have no words for this kind of pain and dealing with it. How am I going to even talk about suffering? Because I had physical pain that I had never had with my cancer before. And I couldn't stand up without throwing up. I mean, it was just a mess. Finally, they put me in the hospital. And right now, today, all I could say is from coming from a place where you're in so much pain, just to walk to the bathroom is uncomfortable, to coming to a place where you're not in so much pain, which I have used some, I do have to take some medications. Life is good. Oh my God, what was I worried about? All these little things that I worried about, like I'm so grateful for every second I have. Like, um, I didn't expect to be like this because I'm not a Pollyanna type of girl. I'm actually quite negative. But I didn't really expect that I just go to the hospital and just feel grateful for every freaking moment I have without pain. And it's like my little son. I have a 17-year-old and a 24-year-old. And we thought the fat lady was going to sing, you know, in the opera. It was over. And we make lots of jokes. Thanks, Thomas. I'm on it. Here's my other son. Oh, thank you, Thomas. They brought me some um, Father's Day presents because I can't go. Perfect. $50. Okay. Um, so, like, Thomas is very aware. He's done a lot of the principles and stuff. And so is Tristan. But he was like, I really thought, Mom, he was so cute. He was like, Mom, I thought that the fat lady was singing. I really thought that it was done. You know, we were done with your life. And what was so cute about it is my Thomas plays baseball right now. And he actually just got a verbal commitment to Pepperdine to play baseball because he's pretty good. And that means that you get a scholarship and whatnot. So anyway, he's like, Mom, you know, I really understand what it's life and death. Like, I don't have to think about you dying because I figure, you know, when you're dying on the day that you're dying, I could deal with that then. But what about baseball? I get so uptight about baseball. And we just had so many laughs and so many beautiful times. It's like little things like, what about being in the hospital and if the nurse is nasty to me? Here I'm dealing with the fact that I might die, but the nurse is nasty and I'm really pissed off. What about that moment, you know? So I just don't try to control it. And I just feel so utterly grateful to have had the extra time and time to get to notice how wonderful your life is and your family is. And it is to live without pain. Like, I wasn't really a very addictive type personality. I did stuff and all that, but I was against drugs. I was like, God forbid I take a drug. Oh my God, you know, with the cancer, it has to be all natural. I just stopped thinking about everything. And every second, you know, it's funny because I worked a lot with Linda Pransky and the Pranskys. I did a lot of training with them. And she used to tell me in the beginning that Sid would just eat his ribs and say, this is the best ribs I've ever had in my life. Well, I was in that hospital, and since I hadn't been able to eat, I would eat food and I would like, oh my God, this is the best food I've ever tasted in my life. And it's only when you're like devoid of thinking about tomorrow or yesterday and you just get to be present. And like, I feel just so utterly grateful. I don't know where that came out of. Because like I said, I'm not a Pollyanna type girl. I'm a real, you know, I've been tried to control my thoughts for years. But I'm just so happy. Like, I got to see how much I appreciate my husband. I got to see how much my family shows up for me. We get to talk about stuff like, you know how people say, oh, I wish I would have asked my mom that before she died. Well, we get to have those conversations in real time. Like my son said to me, well, what about this? Or what about that? And dying, you know, and we took walks together. My 24-year-old slept over at the hospital with me, you know. I have more friends than I ever thought. I used to like pine for friends. I wanted more community, and I was never enough, and everything wasn't enough. And now it's like these people show up out of the woodwork, and they bring me pillows and food, and 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 I always wanted to be more like Dickens, like just really loving, you know, like just love people. And I just find myself loving people. We're all just doing the best we can, and that's just where I'm at today. And let me tell you something, it surprises the shit out of me, because I didn't expect to just feel so grateful. Every morning I wake up and I say to my husband, I am so lucky. I mean, it'd be great if I didn't have cancer, but everything else is so perfect, you know. And I have those medicines that we abuse, I get to take them so that I don't have to be in pain all day. And it wasn't nice living like that. I've decided there's no living like that without pain, you know, not controlling that pain. And my doctor showed up at the right time, and the nurses, some were incompetent, some weren't, some we made jokes with, you know. I just don't understand how life could be so good. And it's just because I went from such a serious pain body, like my body was so, I couldn't eat, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't sit down, and then to go from that to being able to be out of pain and just enjoy people. And all the stuff I worried about for how many years, my stupid self-esteem, and I should be happier, and I should be this, and Wendy should be that, and who gives a shit? I should be thinner. Now I'm really thin. So it's like, don't tell me, people, I'm thin. But who even cares? All these things that we make matter that don't matter. It's just such a fun life right now for me. That's like kind of all I got to say. I feel so lucky.